Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now for today's video, I'm going to go over some of the authors that are auto-buy authors. What I mean by that is that these authors are going to be the ones that are writing books that I immediately add to my cart without a second thought and I hit checkout. Like, I have no regrets about it either because I know that they have written such a good and powerful book that has moved me in such a way that I'm convinced that anything that they write are going to be fabulous ones and are going to be my favorite. So some of these authors are, I feel like, underrated. I feel like that not a lot of people talk about it, whether on booktube or on bookstagram. So I feel like that some of these are going to be new to you and they are definitely going to be on your radar after this video. So the first author that I have to talk about is Natalie Sue. She wrote this novel called I Hope This Finds You Well, and I think this might be her debut novel, but I'm not too sure. This one I adored. I loved so much. I think about it to this day. It has such a long, everlasting effect on me because of how the characters were built and how they were introduced and how our main character had this extraordinary character development throughout the whole book. I found the writing to be really intoxicating. It was descriptive. It was interesting. It definitely pulled you in and sucked you in as soon as you started reading the book. So that's why I love Natalie Sue's writing. I can tell that she writes really complex characters with different layers to it, so that's awesome because I love my characters to kind of feel really realistic. So a short summary of this book is that our heroine works in a normal corporate America job. She works for like a small company. She plays a small role. She's not really advancing in her career. She wants to make more money because she needs to have money to kind of fund her individual living style, which is to pay rent, to buy groceries, and to buy alcohol, and to buy whatever that she needs to fund her bad habits. And she hates everyone. She keeps to herself. She's a recluse. She doesn't have any friends at work. She doesn't trust anybody at work. And she has worked there for multiple years, just kind of studying people around her in the office until she becomes kind of like a primary target in the office, where she is forced to form alliances with people and to actually form friendships with people. And one of the persons that she becomes friends with is our HR director, who is new to the scene and everybody doesn't really trust him. And they form such a sweet, caring, and natural friendship. And it's conducted through meetings, it's conducted through team messages, it's conducted through emails. And I loved it so much, mostly because I related a lot to our heroine. Not because of her bad habits, but mostly just because of how she thinks and feels sometimes. So definitely check her out if you haven't already. Now the second novel, or the second author that I want to introduce, is Christy Greenwood, and the book is called The Love of My Afterlife. Now this, I would describe it as for fans of Ashley Poston. You definitely have to check this book out. You have to check out this author. I knew nothing walking into this novel. I knew it had really good ratings on Goodreads. I knew that it was kind of quickly climbing up the Amazon charts, but I feel like it kind of fizzled out. Like, I see it on Bookstagram on my Explore page, but I don't feel like it deserves, or it got the recognition it deserved, because this book completely sucked me in from page one. I loved our character dynamics. I loved how the story was set up. I love the world that it was built in. It is not your typical romance. I describe it as an Ashley Poston novel because it has like elements of magic and it's just beautiful. So our heroine, once again, is a recluse. She has a lot of guilt that she is carrying along in her life in her adulthood. Unexpectedly, she chokes on a piece of a hamburger and she dies. And then she is sent into the afterworld, and the afterworld's like, you know what, we can give you a second chance. We think that you didn't live your life to the potential that you could have, so we're going to send you back into Earth and you're going to have to change up everything. You're going to have to fall in love. What you see is just this magnificent development and this transformation of her. She becomes more friendly to everybody around her in her neighborhood. She makes friendships, she explores, she meets new people. This is amazing. I love it so much. Now the next auto-buy author I have is Annabelle Monaghan. I can't really say her last name, but she wrote her first book, or one of her most popular books that she debuted with, was Nora Goes Off Script. So this is not Nora Goes Off Script. This is kind of the second book, called Same Time Next Summer. They're individual standalones. I don't have Nora Goes Off Script with me right now because it's buried underneath a stack of books, but this one I really enjoyed too as well. This one involves our heroine who is engaged. She moves back to her small town to kind of organize her wedding, and there she sees her ex and she rekindles her friendship with her ex. She is navigating relationships within her family. She is dealing with a lot of self-doubt because she never expected to go back to her small town, and now that she's there, she's, you know, seeing her past for what it is, and she's kind of questioning her life choices. Does she want to go back to the big city far away from her mom and her dad and from her friends in the small town? Or does she want to kind of stay in the small town and be more local? I really like her novels because these are the perfect beach reads. Like, her books are always going to be released, I think, like when Emily Henry novels are going to be released, which is in the summertime. These books are going to be flying off the shelves on, like, in bookstores near beaches because they're just easy, fun, lighthearted, feel-good novels. So she is a very popular author. I don't expect, you know, people having never read her before, but she is definitely someone that I keep on my radar, and I think that she deserves, you know, her praise. Now, the next author that I have that is on Autobuy is Lauren Lane, and she wrote this series with Simon Schuster called the Central Park Pack series, sorry. I think Lauren Lane is popular, but again, she is not getting the credit that she deserves because her romances are just really great. This is one of my favorite series, the Central Park Pack series. So this is, I think this is a third book in the series called Marriage on Madison Avenue, but essentially it follows three friends who fall in love, and it's in the big city. Like, what more can we ask for, right? I used to be kind of like bored with New York City because I feel like a lot of people write books based on New York City, but Lauren Lane wrote them in New York City because I think that's what she knows best. And I loved kind of seeing New York through these books. These are going to be fun, flirty, they're going to be very cute, they're going to be interesting, and I just love Lauren Lane's novels because I think, like, it's just going to be a good time. Like, she always puts them into realistic situations, but also situations that you never really think about that would ever happen to you. They're unique, realistic situations. So I always pick up a Lauren Lane novel. The next author that I have is Rachel Winters. So this book is called Would Like to Meet. Honestly, I feel like that this is like the only novel that she has put out since she has published this book. So it's really hard for me to kind of like think about her a lot because this book was published probably like 4 years ago now, but every time I see this on my shelf, I see it and it makes me happy. So this one involves our heroine. She works for a film agency and she needs to go into the small town and convince this like screenplay writer to write a romance, and he is just kind of like snobbish, he's stuck up, and he just doesn't want to do it. She is at her ends with him, and then you think that that's her love interest, but it's not, because there's this cute daughter and single father duo that's always at the coffee shop. I want to read more of Rachel Winters' books because of just how easy it was to sink into. So she doesn't really have like kind of like a backing that has made me like want to read her books. It's more of just like a really high peaked interest because of this book and how much I liked it. Okay, last but not least is Ashley Poston. Everybody has read Ashley Poston. I feel like she is at the same level of popularity, maybe like a little bit lower than Emily Henry, just because Emily Henry has shot up. But Emily Henry is Emily Henry, but Ashley Poston is also Ashley Poston. So she wrote 2 books that I adored, I love so much. Or she has wrote 2 adult romance novels because she has written a lot of YA fiction before. But she has written 2 adult romance novels called The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip. And this is her latest, which is a novel love story. I've read The Dead Romantics, I've read The 7-Year Slip. I love those books so much. Like, I think about The 7-Year Slip and the hero and the heroine so freaking much. There's this one pivotal scene in The 7-Year Slip where it was just picture perfect. It was crisp, it was beautiful, it was gorgeous. It was something that I wish it happened to me. But it's just a very simple line too as well, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. It's just amazing, right? And then Dead Romantics was what introduced me to her, and how much I love that story and how much magic kind of plays into all her novels. And I loved how whimsical all her novels were because it always had some sense of magic. So that's why I love her novels, because it's fun, it's interesting, it's quirky, it's something that you don't really really see. It's not a cookie cutter romance novel. It has magic realism in it. It has elements of magic. It transports you. And the heroes are comparable to like Ali Hazelwood's heroes in the sense that they are funny, they are caring, they're super romantic, they're not afraid to pine for years. There's a certain sense of yearning between the characters too as well for Ashley Poston. It's just amazing. So I think everybody is a great fan of Ashley Poston, so I don't really have to talk too much about her, but this is just my love letter to her, really. But anyways, those are all the authors that are my Autobuy authors. They are the ones that I kind of keep my eye out on. I'm sure that there are more authors, but I just wanted to kind of single out these ones right now for this video. These are the authors that I would be buying from for a very long time until I've seen consistent books that I've read that I've given really bad reviews for. Maybe then I would stop buying. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time in a new video. Bye.